So our next speaker, Drew Tarvin, is somebody who came to us through Facebook. He saw that we were having this event, and he contacted us, and we had a few chats, and he expressed a lot of interest, and he had a very interesting story to tell. So I was happy to invite him to join us. Drew is originally from Ohio, and has been most recently living in New York, but he left New York a year ago and has been doing something entirely different with his life. He made a very significant decision, and he's going to tell us about it. Ladies and gentlemen, Drew Tarvin.
So today, February 11th, 2016, is a very special day for me. Because by speaking to all of you today, this marks my 1,000th show as a performer. It's also now I can say that I have spoken or performed in all 50 states. Thank you. And it also happens to be today my 32nd birthday. Thank you. And in those 32 years, I've made a lot of big decisions. Big ones like going to The Ohio State University and getting a degree in computer science and engineering, the decision to start an improv group while there, the decision to start working at Procter & Gamble after I graduated, the decision to move to New York City, the decision to leave Procter & Gamble to start my own company, teaching organizations how to use humor to be more productive, and the decision I made on March 1st, 2015, to become a nomad, to put all of my stuff in storage, AKA my mom's place in Ohio, and live out of 2 carry-on bags, which I've been doing ever since. And the decision to be a nomad is surprisingly logical. Or, I mean, if you know me, maybe not all that surprising, because I'm an engineer. So I'm driven more by logic than emotion. And I make decisions not by feeling, but by spreadsheets and flowcharts. And so to be a nomad seemed logical. My lease was coming up in New York City. I knew I was going to move either to a borough or maybe to the West Coast. And I knew that for the 6 out of the next 8 weeks, I was going to be traveling for work into different countries, and I wasn't going to be really anywhere in one spot. And so I thought, well, what if I just do that indefinitely? What if I just continue to travel? And I knew that there'd be consequences of that decision. I knew it'd be challenging. I knew that I'd collect some pretty cool stories and some pretty cool experiences as well. But what I didn't know is like how it would change me. In some ways, small changes, like I'm definitely fatter. And not to say I'm fat, I'm just statistically fatter than I've ever been before. And I know that because I measure every single month. Not because I'm obsessed with health, it's just I like to pretend that my life is a video game and I want to have all the stats. I've also changed in bigger ways, though, as well. Like I've become a little bit more emotional, or at least aware of emotions. And that's big for me as an engineer, because I think emotions, I don't know, I feel like humans would be better served if they had error messages instead of emotions. Right? Like with computers, like instead of feeling overwhelmed and breaking down when things are tough, you would just get a warning message that says, warning, system overload. Please restart by taking a nap. Right? Or like some error messages you wouldn't even have to change at all. Like say you're out flirting with a waiter and she's not really feeling it, just pop up error, unable to establish connection to server. Right? That would make things so much easier. But being a nomad has changed a little bit how I think about emotions, and specifically one emotion in general, and that is gratitude. Because the thing about traveling all of these different places is that I've met some phenomenal people, and I've had some incredible experiences, and I'm grateful for the people that I've met. I'm grateful for the people in Pringle, South Dakota, population 112, who opened their doors to their open mic, their music open mic, and allowed me to perform at their biker bar, doing some poetry to check off South Dakota as a state. I'm grateful for the people that I met randomly in the desert going from Las Vegas to Los Angeles when a bunch of us, a caravan of random cars, people that I didn't know, We saw traffic ahead, so we all apparently checked on Google Maps, and we saw a detour, so we took it, but the detour was a dirt road. And 6 miles into the 7-mile dirt road, it went from dirt into sand, and we all got stuck. And I remember we were pushing this car in front of me. It was a Ferrari, an Enzo Ferrari had taken this dirt road for some reason. I'm pushing it alongside 5 other people from all these different places, and the guy next to me is like, well, didn't think I'd be doing this today. It's like, I don't think any of us expected to push a Ferrari into the desert today. But I'm grateful for the people that I met as a result. And I'm grateful for my second cousin who's here tonight, because she opened up her doors and allowed me to, is letting me stay with her here in Hawaii, even though she never met me before. And so I'm grateful for those moments. But I'm also grateful for the moments that I've had with people that I care about. Because when you travel and you don't really see anyone regularly, the moments that you do have with them become even more meaningful. Because as I've traveled, I've gone to incredible places. I've hiked the Grand Canyon, and it was gorgeous, but no hike compares to the one that I went on with my brother Dave in Cascacatu, New Mexico. Because as we hiked up the very narrow canyons, it started to rain, and I remember we hid under like an overhang and let the rain fall down. And it reminded me of when we were kids growing up, and we'd go on adventures in the very suburban Cincinnati, Ohio. But we'd go out and explore and pretend like we were exploring a new world, or that we were like somehow transported to the world of Jurassic Park. And that moment in Cascacatu brought me back to that moment. And things were pretty similar. I mean, we were much older, certainly. We got tired a lot quicker. And it was like we were exploring not Jurassic Park, but Jurassic World, since the sequels come out since then. And I remember being so grateful for that moment, or grateful for the incredible sunsets. I was at, I believe it's Ala Moana Park yesterday. I was there, and I saw this gorgeous sunset, and it was absolutely pristine, but it didn't match the sunset that I had with Rachel standing in the mud on the side of a nondescript hill in Palo Alto, California. And I've had incredible moments like that, like going to an Ohio State game with my brother Adam, or playing video games with my best friend Nate. And it's those memories that I think I'm going to hold on to. Especially like this park in Mason, Ohio, about 5 miles from where I grew up. And the park itself isn't noteworthy at all. It's not on Lonely Planet's top 10 parks to go to or anything. They don't even charge an admission or anything like that to get in. But it's a special park to me because it's where me and my mom just walked and chatted. Not about anything in particular. I couldn't even say what the subject was. But I remember that moment walking around with my mom in this park, feeling so grateful for that opportunity. And that's what I remember. That's what's changed for me as an engineer, is feeling this emotion. I was in North Carolina a couple of weeks ago. It was my 49th state. And I was talking with a friend of mine. We were having dinner, and she's like, wow, it sounds like you're living the life. It's like, I don't know about that. Like, I'm living a life. I don't know if it's the life, right? Because I don't have a house. I've worn the same 4 shirts for basically the past year, except for this one's new. I got it for Christmas, so it's a little bit newer. Right? And I don't carry any more than 3 ounces of liquid on me at any time. TSA. And so I don't think I'm living the life, but I am living my life. And I think that's what's been the impact. And I don't actually know what's next. I know over the next 2 months, I'm going to go to 4 or 5 different countries for work. I'm going to go to multiple more states. And I don't know where I'm going to end up after that, but I know wherever I go, I will be this grateful person, this changed person, because when you travel around and you don't really have a house anywhere, if you have friends and families and the kindness of strangers, you kind of have a home everywhere. And that's what I'm most grateful for. Thank you.